I'm Don Childs. I'm the architect for Michaywe Pines, as well as a designer of the whole Michaywe resort community. And this course was designed back in the mid-70s. And I had a rare opportunity of coming back 20 years later and doing some modifications to update the course and make it a little more contemporary. We added a irrigation system to it to help in the maintenance category, and made it much more friendly to the higher handicappers and the ladies. So this was a wonderful opportunity for me to come back in here and do this and be creative in a little more contemporary vein, and still keep the signature toughness of this course from the tips. Come and join us on our tour, and we'll talk about this course hole by hole and take you through it. This is hole number 1 at Michaywe Pines, and as most of the time with a golf course, you want to get players out and going on hole number 1, so their play should be obvious and not too penal. Hole number 2 is a par 5, and we've got a nice sweeping fairway, the dog's legs left. We've tried to open up some visual of the pond that is on the right, and also redid the bunkering to make the green set up much more nicely. Number 3 is a par 3 and with some fairly large bunkering, and we have revised some of the circulation patterns on this hole to make the fairway and the green not only read better, but make the turf grass look better. Hole number 4 is a long par 4, and we revised some of the bunkering, the fairway bunkering, to make it read better. It also had a very tight entrance into the green, which we, because of its length, we widened out so that some roll-on play could be made on that green. Number 5 is a par 4, and we revised the tee pattern quite a bit because we had a pine tree growing in the middle of it. We revised the bunkering and did a little enlargement of the green on this hole to make it a little fairer and a little more reachable for the high handicapper. Hole number 6 is a short par 4. It's got a monstrous pine tree near the tee complex that we had to work around, and a dog leg slightly to the left with a large bunker on the fairway out there. In this hole we had to add to the green on the left and rebunker the front of the green to make it a much fairer hole to play into. Hole number 7 is a 197-yard par 3. We have a pond with some wetland cattails guarding the green on the right, and we enlarged the bunker on the left to make this a little bit tight and a thinking man's hole, but one which could be reached. Hole number 8 is a par 4. In this hole we had to revise the fairway bunker on the left. It was not functioning well visually in front of the green, and rebunkered the right side of the green with a couple of tiered bunkers. Hole number 9 is a par 5 finishing hole for this 9. This hole was a little on the short side for a par 5, so we lengthened the hole with some back tees. And to make it a little more difficult as a finishing hole, we also created a pond on the left side from mid-landing area up right near the green. Hole number 10 is a nice par 4 coming out of the clubhouse, so you can see the undulations and the fairway patterns that we've created. We also eliminated a bunker on the right, which was catching a lot of the short hits from the beginning golfers. The green on this hole is in front of some condos, and most of the traffic was running on the left side of the green. So we revised the cart path to go around to the right and made it much safer. Number 11 is a par 3, 215 yards. We had to do quite a bit of work on the tees on this hole because it was not very good for the ladies or the beginning golfers. This hole plays over the north branch of the Asable River, which is the headwaters of the Asable. Number 12 is a moderate par 4. We lengthened this hole considerably The green on this course was not a very fair green to hit, and we did some modifications on the green surface as well as rebunkering. The front tees were moved forward so that again, the ladies and the seniors, many of whom play on this course, have a fair game. Number 13 is a 390-yard par 4. You can see on the left some of the pines that give this Michaywe Pines course its name. This is a fairly straight-on hole. We modified the green entrance and the bunkering on the green in this particular hole, and I might comment that the old greens were very high flash in the back and difficult to maintain, and we've tried to correct that by modifying the profile of these bunkers and making them much more friendly for the maintenance crew. Number 14 is the longest par 5 on Michaywe Pines. We have redone the tee complex, of course, to give the ladies a much more forward tee location than they used to have. And you can see as we move down the fairway, we brought much of the bunkering, both fairway and greenside bunkering, in tight to give this fairway more undulation back and forth, where it used to be just a long, straight fairway. Number 15 is a 423-yard par 4. Again, we modified tee complexes and angle of play, which makes this hole much more interesting for all levels of golfer. A large fairway bunker was placed on the right and comes into play depending on the length of the shot. Coming into the green, we've added a number of bunkers, both right and left, and it makes a challenging approach shot, but we've still left enough throat on this green so that you can have a roll-on shot. Hole number 16 is an uphill par 3 with a nice backdrop of pines behind the green. We've put considerable bunkering on the left side, as well as a couple on the right, to make this whole play extremely tricky but fair. Number 17 is a par 5. As you tee off on this hole, we put some target bunkering out to help turn the corner as it doglegs to the right. And then it's a downhill second shot to right in front of the north branch of the Au River again, and there's some cattails growth that's makes this little creek read very well to the golfer. The approach shot must carry across the Au, and we've rebunkered the front of that green for a nice little approach, and it makes a very good par 5. Number 18 is a short par 4 that goes back toward the clubhouse. We lengthened this hole as much as we could with a back tee, but we're tight with our land configuration. We shoved the turn point to the left, dogleg this hole, put some mounding and bunkering on the right side at the turn point to make this hole play a little differently. And just to the right forward of the green is a large pine, and if a golfer tries to play right and carry the fairway bunker, he's got that pine staring him in the face, which guards that right side of the green very tightly. I hope you enjoyed our tour.